Say that again, sorry?
Sure. So...
Which character are we on about now? Because I was with you for a point, and then I was...
Oh, yeah. So the guy that considered a bad guy near the end.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that...
A white-haired friend.
Yeah. So was there any arguments or conversations about whether we should like put him in square? Because you're kind of hoping that he makes it out of the bar scene in this movie. So.
We couldn't cast the fucker for this one. Like we just couldn't get him in. So I had to use a body double for him. So yeah.
Really?
Fuck it, I'll shoot him. So didn't bother me. No, I mean it was. To be honest, it was kind of like it was. That was designed anyway. Besides like the casting thing, that was designed in this way of saying like, you know what, this is how fucked it is. Even the guys who were in charge of the undercover, even the guys who were in charge of the anti-corruption, realized that this guy's just useless. Like, you know, everything we went through in the first film means nothing. It's like it's not a blip in the ocean of this whole organization, and so they can easily just shoot that guy just to stop him from talking. And like once he became that meaningless to the situation, he thinks he's coming out of that building with this box of tapes and this white-haired guy with his hands tied behind his back, thinking he's going to bring down the whole empire, and it's just no. None of that counts for anything.
Well, I'm not actually the guy you showed at the very beginning, but I don't know. He's the short guy with the curly hair. Yeah.
Mad Dog, yeah.
Yeah. Were there any like hesitations on making him someone that you kind of want to feel for to make it out of that bar scene?
I would never want to do a martial arts film without Yayan being in it in some way or another, because I just love him. But it was one of these things as well. There's another side to it though as well. I originally wrote the script for a film called Berandal about 4 years ago, which was before the Raid 1 existed, and that's what this became. Back then it was a standalone story about a young guy who gets arrested for something, put into prison, befriends the son of a mob boss, comes out and forces a gang war. And in that there was a character called Prakoso, and he was exactly the same as he was in this film. And so he already existed, and I already wanted to cast Yayan in that role. But then we went off and did the Raid 1 because we couldn't get the budget for Berandal. And so after we finished shooting, while we were preparing the Raid 1, I started looking back in the script, thinking what was wrong with it, what could I fix, and the one thing that was bugging me was the motivation of the main character to stay with the gang. Why would he stay in this chaotic circumstances when you just up and leave? And so I thought, well, if he's an undercover cop, then this part of his responsibility has to stay there. He can't leave because all of that work would be for nothing. So then I started talking with, well, okay, maybe this could be a continuation of the Raid. And so when the Raid was finished and done, and we had the budget, and we were okay to do the Raid 2, then it was straightforward. I was like, okay, so the proposal, yeah, Yayan, straight up. Didn't even question it, didn't think about it twice. So, yeah. Thank you.
This side again.
Hi. Could I have 3 questions for each one of the cast?
Is that 9 total or 1 each?
1 each.
Okay.
So, first for Gareth, I have friends back home in Indonesia who have been tweeting and posting stuff on Facebook about how it's been raining for the past 3 or 4 years and flooding, but never once they've tweeted about snowing in Jakarta. So I wonder if you could explain
There's always going to be one that would ask that question. Okay, snow, yeah? Alright. Okay, I got 2 answers for that. I can give him 2 answers, actually he has 3 questions, right? So, first answer is, first answer is this. At the start of the film, right, we see Budjo come out and bring in Andy out of the car, and Andy is shivering like crazy, and they're all wearing winter coats. And the idea was that every time we see Budjo, the temperature of the film would drop. And so then later on, then in the film, when Ucho's in the karaoke room and he gets a phone call, and the idea is it's from Budjo. And after he says hello and he breathes, all of a sudden we see his breath come out like a puff of smoke, right? Yes, it's all coming together now. And then when the sacrifices are brought out from the restaurant, they've been kept inside a freezer box. And they're all shivering and trembling and shit like that. And so then when Prakoso, who's kind of like the ultimate catalyst for everything going wrong and being chaotic, is killed, it's in the snow. The temperature drops so much so that it becomes snowing. Now that's my really pretentious answer. The truth is snow looks fucking beautiful with blood on it. So I was like, okay, I want this snow. Let's put a couple of little bullshit things before it so that when somebody asks me in a Q&A, I have a fucking answer. answer for it, so I'm not just saying it's cool.
For Iko, I'll ask in Indonesian and I'll translate into. Waktu syuting filmnya, Mas sempat cedera atau luka, and kalau koreografinya harus disesuaikan dengan itunya, dengan
Sorry, I don't understand.
I'll translate. I asked him if he was ever hurt during filming and if they had to adjust the fight choreography based on whatever he was injured with.
Bahasa Indonesia aja ya.
Yeah.
Kalau setiap syuting kita 7 bulan syuting, dan setiap adegan fighting buat kita cedera apa enggak itu alhamdulillah dan selama syuting nggak ada. Paling kalau buat masalah biru lebam itu nggak masalah, kayak Juli dia sebetulnya cowok. Terus sama-sama. Terus biru-biru buat masalah segala macam kita memang full body contact, nggak ada yang fake, nggak ada yang karena pura-pura itu nggak ada. Dan kita memang semua fighter kita bilang sorry alarm.
It's like this on set. It's a fucking nightmare. You're still answering the question.
Full body contact dan nggak ada fake, nggak ada yang fake, dan kita memang ngomong sama semua fighter walaupun semua punya basic bela diri. Cuma itu sangat beda dengan kita beradegan di depan film. Banyak orang beradegan punya basic bela diri, dia kena pukul biasa tahan. Tapi kalau misalkan kita di film pasti ada aksi reaksi. Jadi kalau kena pukul kayak ada aksinya gitu. Jadi kita akan kebutuhan gambar. Kalau bikin koreografi kita semua sama Pak Yan, saya bertiga sama Pak Yan, sama Gareth, itu berdasarkan apa yang kita udah dapat di perguruan dan kita combine, kita kolaborasi gitu.
And you translate his answer.
So luckily he's never been injured, but he's gotten bruises like bumps and bruise and purple stuff around his body from hits, and they all do full contact, but they tell the fighters that when you're shooting, you have to get your mind out of fighting and into filming, because when you're reacting to being hit, it's different than being reacting to being not hit in film. You have to exaggerate more in filming.
Can we use him as translator from now on?
It's way different.
Yeah, way better. Lots of detail, yeah?
The last one.
Yeah, for Julie, do you plan on doing any more martial arts stuff after this movie?
Gareth?
Julie? Actually, yeah.
Answer that for me.
Do you know Timo Chayanto? He's one of the Mo brothers who did a film called Killers recently, and then Macabre before, which also starred Julie. Oh, 1 or 2? There you go. Thank you. I'll tell him you were here. So, Timo, I'm about to produce a film for Timo to direct now, and we're doing that, and we're going to start that when we get back. And that's called The Night Comes For Us, and it's Joe Taslim in the lead. Yayan is going to be in it, and because Timo is an absolute fucking blabbermouth on Twitter, he already announced that Julie's in it as well, even though we haven't actually dotted the I's on the contract yet, but you have to now. So, yeah, Julie's going to fight again in the next movie, and that's going to be pretty brutal as well.
On this side.
And also, we're really proud with Julie because he's going to practice by the martial art.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
She's
God, that's
perfect.
very nice of you for the compliment.
So lame.
On this side.
Sorry, bro.
My question is for you, Gareth. Right before you sat down to write the script, what did you want to do differently, bigger, better, that went through your mind that didn't make it into the actual movie?
For this one?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, when I sat down and it was settled down, the first thing I wanted to do was like not copy the first one. Like, there's nothing worse than a sequel that just rehashes the same ideas as the first, and does nothing different with it. So I figured, okay, well, when it's not going to be the Raid 2, now there's 16 floors instead of 15. There's going to have to be a little bit more than that. So I thought, like, well, let's take out in the streets and then explore more. In terms of not having certain things, it was less a case of things that we couldn't do in the shoot, because this time we just pushed for everything, but more a case of having to cut things because the pacing was getting crazy. Because it's already pretty long as it is, but the first cut they had was about 3 hours plus. So, and then so there's maybe two scenes that I kind of was very reluctant to cut, that we cut them literally in the last sort of like 2 or 3 weeks before we were finishing up everything in the color grading. One was a 5-minute shootout that we had, which was like a gang war shootout between the Japanese and the Indonesians, which, yeah, we spent 6 days shooting, a lot of money to shoot it, and then we're just not using it now. But that's going to be, we're going to put that up on Vimeo, I think, in about a week or 2. So we put that up online. And the other scene was, we did this one shot, it was basically him beating the shit out of the politician's son. And so we had that in there, and that was like a 4-minute Steadicam shot, which was going through a nightclub, following some drama, going up, coming back down some stairs, and then he beat the grab out of this kid. And that was like a 3 to 4 minute scene as well. All one shot. Our poor Steadicam operator did it perfectly, and then I cut it. So yeah, that one will probably end up being on a bonus DVD or something or other.
That was my follow-up. Hopefully, director's cut DVD or unrated.
I think this is probably my director's cut, to be honest. I mean, for me, it's like, when it comes to that idea of director's cut, there's a difference between the director's cut and then an extended cut. I think this is the version I'm happy with. If I started adding more, it would throw off the balance a little bit, and this is where I kind of settled. So I feel lucky enough that I got this too, and I got an R for this as well. Seriously? I was fucking terrified after Sundance. Every single critic came up to me and said, like, you're never going to get an R. This is an NC-17 straight away. And I was like, okay, alright, how much do you think I'm going to have to cut? And then like, there was this worried look on their faces. So I was nervous, but yeah, we got through alright.
Back to side.
Researching this recently, I saw in the credits, you guys had a baseball coach. I'm wondering.
That was my producer's idea. He was like, oh, we gotta make sure he swings properly. I'm like, he's killing the guy with the ball. Who gives a shit? But yeah, he had a coach. He came on set the day. And I was thinking, this is nuts, this is crazy. But I was like, alright, how would you kill someone with a baseball bat and a ball? Okay, well, you just go straight up. It was a bizarre moment.